Hello, welcome to episode number 409 of the TEW 2020 Talent Run. This is going to be ECW for week 1 of September 2023. And yeah, we've got a pretty stacked show tonight, including a ECW Championship main event. Dolph Ziggler set to make the first defense of his newly won championship against Adam Cole, baby. We also have Sonya Deville taking on Blair Davenport, with the winner of that match becoming the challenger for Julia's ECW Women's Championship. And a whole lot more. Yeah. Without any more further ado, though, let's jump straight into the show. In what has very quickly become ECW tradition, we kick off the show with a blue-rated tag team match. The Grizzled Young Veterans we saw last week with ZSJ. They are here. ZSJ said this week we'd see the Techers in action. And I guess that's what we have done, because the Grizzled Young Veterans defeat Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. 20 minutes and 42 seconds, Rip Fowler pins Roderick Strong with a punt kick. Kyle O'Reilly, of course, the god that he is, carrying with a 95. 78 for Roderick Strong and a 73 for both members of the Grizzled Young Veterans. After the match, Zack Sabre Jr. gets into the ring and goes, "Alright, dickheads, So this is ECW, extremely crappy wrestling, whatever they call it. Now, it was extremely crappy wrestling, before ZSJ and the GYV showed up. Now, it's extremely credible wrestling, because we've brought the best brand of professional wrestling here to ECW. That is technical wizardry of ZSJ, the technical wizard, the greatest technical wrestler alive. You've got the Grizzled Young Veterans, the most underrated tag team. We're all bringing techers over here to Extreme Championship Wrestling, because we are the faces of international flair." Out comes Dudley Davis, and he goes, "Zach, it's been a while, wasn't it, mate? I don't believe me and you have ever, been formally introduced. Our careers have been gone rather different trajectories. I made it here when I was 19. You were carving out in Japan. But now here we are, we're both here on ECW, so I thought I'd just say, evening, mate." And Zack Sabre Jr. just looks at me and goes, "Evening, mate?" This man said, "Evening, mate. Is it Dudley here? Dudley dickhead, eh? You think you're coming out here? You think you're the top international star here on ECW? I'll let you know, mate. I want to jog on, because Techers are here now, and we are the most dangerous trio here on ECW. You could have, in a different world, you could have been one of us. Dudley, you got the Techers to make it to the top, but now you're just getting in my way like a little dickhead, ain't you? So why don't you jog on, mate, and get out of our business, because you're looking at the next tag team champions. You're looking at me, future ECW television champion, future ECW world champion. And you're always just going to be in, Gunter's shadow, Pete Dunne's shadow, and, now mine." So yeah, tense, very English, like two men arguing, in a Weatherspoons. But I guess not, because those would sound like Will Ospreay, not Zack Sabre Jr. All English people sound like either Will Ospreay or Zack Sabre Jr., and there's no in between. But both of these men fall on the Zack Sabre Jr. side of the of the dialogue spectrum. Grizzled Young Veterans probably closer to Ospreay, but they don't get to speak. They then cut backstage. Mackenzie's with Cora Jade in the press box, whatever it is. She says, "Cora, last week you picked up your first win here on ECW." She goes, "I know, Mackenzie. ECW is the home for the future of professional wrestling. It's this underground sort of, incredible show where, all these great opportunities are given to great talents, and that includes me. But I don't see anyone around here that I really see as a threat, Dakota thinks she got she won at SummerSlam. Bravo, you pinned Bayley. I didn't run away from SmackDown because I was scared of you, Dakota. I ran away from here because the opportunity was better. It's not my fault you weren't invited." Okay, but we've got so many people I've seen before. You got the Toxic Attraction girls. You got girls like Shotzi, Sonya, all these people. You got new faces like Blair Davenport. You got Liv Morgan, Hikaru Shida. Who names them? I'm better than all of them, okay? I know Julia's busy with the winner of Sonya and Blair, but keep that title warm, babe, because I'm coming forward, because this is the Extreme Generation led by the Generation of Jade. 64. That's actually pretty good, especially considering I had to keep Lyra Strong here. Hopefully having Kathy Cool on and the rest of Next Gen on, main TV will help them get more popular more quickly. But Kathy Cool does defeat Lyra Valkyria with the Razzle Dazzle in 9:25. Yeah. Lyra gets a 70, 44 for Kathy Cool. And yeah, nice win here on ECW for Kathy Cool. She picks up her... No, she thinks she has wrestled on Raw once. She's definitely wrestled on a SmackDown, because I remember one of them getting beat by Florence, I believe, before SummerSlam. And I believe that was Kathy. Yeah. We then cut to... I'm going to do a lot of these on ECW. Quick little vignettes, just showcasing people who aren't on the show this week. That includes Ichiban, who... Ali Maikawa and Miko Samura do have a big match next week, which we'll get into later on tonight. But yeah, Ichiban training, here on ECW, doing their dojo stuff and all that. We then see Paul Heyman. He's in his office by himself. And he's on the phone. You see him hang up the phone like it's the segment style. He goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. You may know me amongst many things. You know me as an advocate. You know me as the wise man. But you right now know me as the head founder and general manager of ECW. Now, I come here with two big announcements regarding next week's episode of ECW. The first is the one that you've all wanted to hear. Next week, the face of the new ECW, your tribal chief, Roman Reigns, returns to his brand for the first time since he beat that big idiot Warden back at SummerSlam. And next week will begin the start of the ECW Tag Team Championship Tournament, culminating at ECW's first premium live event, High Voltage, in 6 weeks' time. And that first match will feature 8 top tag teams, ECW's stacked tag team division here. That tournament will consist of the Usos, Jimmy and Jey Uso. It will consist of Ichiban, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Minoru Suzuki. It will feature Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander. It will feature the Hurt Business's Ronnie Hughes and Damon Kemp. It will feature the men we saw earlier on tonight, the grizzled young veterans. It will feature Emerson Frost and Ken Kobain of the Grand Jury. It will also feature Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. And those two men will be in the first match next week against the final team, David and Kevin, the Fritz brothers. In storms Jey Uso. And he goes, "So what I'm hearing is true, Paul, huh? Usos, we ain't booked next week in this tag team tournament." And Heyman goes, "The tribal chief's returning, it's a big night for the bloodline regardless of the Usos not being in the tournament, Jay. I trust you to be there." He goes, No, that's cool, Luce. It's great. Give me Warden." And Heyman goes, "I'm sorry?" He goes, "Warden. I want him next week, Oos, me and him one-on-one on ECW. Heyman goes, "Jay, are you sure you want to..." And he goes, "You're a general manager, Paul. Make the match." He goes, "I'll see to it. Main event, Jey Uso." 86. Yeah, this is what ECW is all about right here. Barney Bloody Murphy, last week he cut a promo about being lost in the shuffle and how ECW was going to be his rejuvenation. And now he defeats Wes Lee 13-54. Murphy's Law, two men just going out and having the best banger they possibly can. And yeah, another great spotlight for what ECW's all about. 88 for Barney Bloody Murphy, 84 for Wes Lee. We then get a quick promo from the Grand Jury. They're in their evil purple room that the Judgment Day always cut their promos from in real life. That's going to be the Grand Jury's room. Priest, because SummerSlam didn't go as it should have gone. I should be standing here right now, ECW World Champion, but the Grand Jury, it's not over for us because we are going to become the inaugural ECW Tag Team Champions. And we don't know who we've got in this tournament. It doesn't matter. Emerson and Ken, it's their time to shine. We come from one segment to another. We cut to Matt Cardona's house, and he's poolside, just sitting on a pool chair, and he goes, "I know what you're thinking. Last week you fought Matt Cardona, the sports entertainment god, the greatest damn wrestler on planet Earth. You thought it was over for me and my television championship reign because I had to fight that idiot, that singing, dancing Scottish fool, Joe Hendry. No, it's never. When you're an indie god and you've got paid, like I did, busting my ass on those independents where you would get paid a hot dog and a handshake, I made money. Okay, when I've got money, you get to buy houses like this, pools like this, you get wives like this." Chelsea Green walks in, she's like, "Hey, I'm Chelsea." He goes, "And you get friends who've got your back like Kurt Hawkins has mine." Now you see, Matt Cardona, I call myself many things, but one thing I still call myself is the reigning ECW television champion of the world. And next week, the sports entertainment god, along with the rest of my crew, are going to remind you why I am what I say I am, and that is the sports entertainment god. And I don't have any chemistry. Okay, that's weird. Glad this didn't... I wasn't, because there's an ECW championship match, but before I announced there was going to be an ECW championship match, the idea was this was going to be the main event. And I'm glad it wasn't, because it was mid. But the woman who wins is Sonya Deville. She picks up the win in 14 minutes and 13 seconds because Shotzi distracts Blair Davenport. You know, they've had a little bit of a thing in recent weeks, predating, you know, the influx of actual ECW roster members. Back before SummerSlam, they've been going at it. And yeah, Sonya does get 61, 49 for Blair. They don't click, so those ratings are skewed. And she will go on to fight her former stablemate, Julia, for the ECW Championship. I believe in 2 weeks' time. I believe not next week, the week after. Sonya versus Julia will be the match. That will probably be the main event. So hopefully they do have chemistry. Then get a quick video. We saw Humberto, you know, going back to the Path of the Dragon dojo to make himself a single star on Raw. We see the complete opposite from Zergis here. He's shedding that Path of the Dragon skin. And he's dominating, like, people in a forest. He's, like, beating the fuck out of evil people, like, slamming them down to the dirt. Proving that he is still a monster. And he is coming at ECW. Next week, though, we have a pretty banging episode of ECW. And that includes this, the top priority on the show, per Paul Heyman, the tribal chief, the self-proclaimed new face of ECW himself, Roman Reigns. The big dog returns to his show for the first time since he defeated Warden at SummerSlam. And we have a big women's tag team match, which will have implications regarding the tag team championships, because, you know, Joe Gacy said that they want to take over all of WWE. That includes a team from Raw, NXT, Raw, ECW, and SmackDown. And I guess the winner of this match between Ichiban's Ayumi Kawa and Miko Satomura and Toxic Attraction will be the team to represent ECW in that match at Unforgiven. And in our opening promo segment, we saw Dudley Davis confront ZSJ, you know, Dudley Dickhead, as ZSJ called him. And the two British men will go one-on-one in a bit of international expertise on next week's show. We also have the beginning of the ECW Tag Team Championship Tournament as David and Kevin Fritz of the Paragon take on the duo of Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander. And main event Jey Uso has called out Warden. You know, Warden attacked Jimmy last week. He's still pissed at the Bloodline from SummerSlam. Jey wants him, and Jey wants him one-on-one next week. 89. Could have been better, but that's still a pretty fucking good main event. Dolph Ziggler, of course. I'm not even going to bother putting a thingy up for it. Dolph Ziggler retains. It's his first defense. He's not dropping the belt in his first defense. Goes 22 minutes and 20 seconds. He pins Adam Cole with a super kick. Make defense number 1 of the ECW World Heavyweight title. 95 for Cole, 86 for Ziggler. And yeah, old DZ stands tall to end tonight's show. Gets an 86. Yeah, I'm a fan of how these go. There are people that aren't on the show this week, but again, that's not everyone's on. I know I say that all the time, going, not everybody's on the show every single week. That's doubly true for ECW, but that's by design, you know. Fresh in the match. This is a very in-ring based show, so yeah. What matters more is what you thought of the show. Do let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I'll see you next time for SmackDown, featuring... There's definitely at least one big match I announced for SmackDown, but I can't remember the rundown for it. I know John Cena's back. That's about it. See you then.